Hello, friends of the channel. My name is Rob. We are in Big Rob's van this evening, and tonight I'm going to be doing a quick review of this battery I received. I did receive this battery for free, but I am not being paid for this review. I was given this battery in exchange for a fair and honest review, which I will be giving you. I have tested this battery, and I will tell you how it functions. If you've watched this channel long enough, you know that I have given plenty of positive reviews and quite a few negative reviews. So this is not a just a checkbox thing. I am going to tell you all about this battery. And this battery, I was contacted specifically because of another video I did, and that was a video in which I showed how to use a CPAP in your van. That could be a van, a camper van, an RV, even if you're tent camping or something like that. Those of us that use a CPAP know that it's very important to use it every single night. And so this battery looks like it's a mid-size. It's bigger than the normal USB power packs that you get to charge your phones, but it is smaller than something like a big Jackery or something like that. But what is this thing? This is from a company called EASYLONGER. We're going to talk to them about the name of their company, but the product is ES960. And why is it called that? Because this battery is 96,000 milliamps. If you know anything about those USB power packs, like for charging your phone, you know that this is a monster. The ones that I have for charging my phone, I have one that's 10,000 milliamps and one that's 20,000 milliamps. So the one that's 10,000 milliamps, which is the one that I use normally, this is 10 times larger. It's also much heavier and quite a bit bigger. But what is the selling point for this particular battery? It is designed to work with CPAPs. Now, it's not limited to charging CPAPs, but that is kind of the selling point and what this is being marketed as. So, you know what? Instead of, well, let's see. First, I'm going to show you the battery, then I'm going to open the box and show you some of the things that it comes with. I've already pulled the battery out because I've already used this battery. So if you look right here, I mean, this thing is substantial. This thing weighs, I'll have to look up the weight and put it in here, but this thing is heavy. I mean, this is somewhere between probably 5 and 10 pounds. I mean, this is a solid battery. If you look at the design, it almost looks like it's military. I mean, it gives that impression, right? You've got kind of this green, this two-color tone thing. You have a big light on this end, but where does all the magic happen? On this end down here. Now, I'll show you some close-ups of this, but everything is laid out here very logically. You got your inputs, you got outputs, and then you have these two outputs down here. So what do you have for inputs? Well, we have a wall, like a normal 110 charger, which is right here next to me. I just finished recharging this back up to 100%. And you have a USB-C charger. So if you are out camping, you're in a van like this, you're on the road, something like that, even, you know, with an adapter that goes to your cigarette lighter, something like that, you can charge this off of USB-C. So those are your inputs. Your outputs over here are similar. By the way, I used to really hate these plug-in tabs, and then I started doing all this camping and getting dirt and dust and everything I own, and now I appreciate them a little bit more. But here you can see you've got, again, the same type of output here, and you got some USB A charging ports. So if you wanted to charge your phone 18,000 times with this, you could. I don't know how many times you can charge this, but you can charge it a lot. And then at the bottom here, now this is something that you don't normally see in these types of battery packs. I mean, when I say these types, I've never seen one quite like this. I've never seen one of this size. You have two 12-volt ports. So these are, like, you know, what we used to call them cigarette lighter adapters back in the day. I'm trying to open it from the wrong side here. But now we just call them 12-volt power ports. But you can see right there, you could plug in any 12-volt. What I really like to do, I'd like to do an experiment and see how long I could run my 12-volt refrigerator from this thing. That would be interesting. Over here, we've got, this is your information on your readout. So if you tap this, You're going to see your information light up there. This shows your charge. This shows that I'm at 100%. There's also, if you're going to run your CPAP off of this, you need to set the voltage on this unit to match the voltage of your CPAP machine. Now, I incorrectly assumed that because I've run my CPAP off of a 12 volt port, that it's 12 volts. It's not. My CPAP, which is a ResMed S10, I think S10 or S11, I don't know. But it's actually 24 volt. Now, if you Google, you put in the model of your CPAP and say what voltage, it's going to come right up in Google. It's also in your owner's manual of that, and also there's information for that here as well. But you do need to set this to be the same unit or the same voltage as your CPAP if you're going to do that. Now, you also have this little handle here, which comes in handy for moving around because, like I said, it is a little bit heavy. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not anything like my big all-powers thing. This is, you know, the old traditional, let me find the power button for that. But it's pointing the wrong way. But, you know, you've got your flashlights, so if you're out camping and stuff, those things always come in handy. I'd rather have more flashlights than fewer, right? Okay, watch this. I mean, this is a solid battery. Let's look at what's in the box here. First of all, let me show you this because I've already pulled this out. This is your traditional 110 wall charger. It's two pieces, you know, this cable, the wall part comes separately. You've got your inverter, whatever here, and then just this little adapter that plugs right into the side of the unit for charging in. Nothing special there. Inside the box here, I want to show you. First of all, I do have it in here. This is a case for your battery. And so this almost looks like, it makes it look like a medical type supply. Now, I will tell you one thing about this battery. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself here. There's a little side container here on the side, a little side holder. And this is where I have put the adapter for my CPAP. Now, I will put down here at the bottom all the different models that this is compatible with, but as you can see here, this comes with 4 different adapters, and these are the adapters for the 4 most popular CPAP devices that are on the market today. So I know like the ResMed, the Res Air, the little portable one of these goes to that. There's another ResMed one, there's a different brand. So you can see they're all slightly different, but you might be thinking, how do I know which one goes to mine? Well, first of all, if you have a CPAP, you probably know what the power plug looks like. But if you don't, there's a little tag. Let me grab this light here real quick. There's a little tag on each one of these that shows what model that is. I'll do a close-up here so you can see that a little bit easier. But each one of these is labeled for what model of CPAP that they go with. So that makes it really convenient. Now, obviously it comes with 4. You're probably, if you're using it for this, you're only going to need 1. But I would keep the other 3 because, you know, I didn't choose what model of CPAP that I got. The doctor gave me this. So, you know, in 2 or 3 years or whatever, maybe if I get a different model or something like that, hopefully one of these other adapters will work. So again, you've got this little plug that's going to go to the unit, and then this, which looks like a USB plug, but if you have a ResMed, you probably know that this is the ResMed plug. So you've got your manual here. Your manual will tell you this is your quick guide here that tells you you know, what to look for on your plugs and stuff, and then you've got this user manual. Now this is like a typical user manual where it repeats over and over in different languages, so it's not, there's not really that much to read here, but all the information about how to operate it stuff is all included in here. So again, if you are going to be carrying this around, if you really want to protect this thing, then you can just put it in this little case. And again, this case is nice because it has this little container on the side where you can put your the plug-in adapter that you need for your CPAP. Now, what if the CPAP that you own What if one of these 4 adapters doesn't work? Well, there are 2 options for you. One is you can contact the manufacturer, and they do have some other ones available. It came with these 4, but they do have others available, so you can contact them and see if they have it. But if they don't, most CPAPs, if you look online, like my CPAP, I have a 12-volt adapter for, I could use my CPAP in a normal car with a 12-volt adapter. I could use it on the 12-volt adapter on this right here, right? So you would just plug it in just like a normal 12-volt accessory right there and use that. So you wouldn't need to use their thing. So we talked a little bit about the specifications of this thing, 96,000 milliamps. I mean, this is a pretty massive battery. The question is, what kind of performance can you expect out of this? Well, if you know anything about electricity and heat, it takes a lot of electricity to generate heat, right? If you get one of those, like even a small heater, like one of those little tiny desk ones, some of those use 500 watts an hour. The one in my shop uses 1,500 watts. Yeah, I have this little heater right here that I put in the van just for in case I go camping or something. This uses 1,500 watts per hour. So heat takes a lot of electricity to generate. And so that is going to be a decision maker, a decision that you're going to have to make when using this unit. If you use your humidifier, my CPAP has a humidifier and a heated tube. So that's a double whammy. If you use both of those things, you can get about 5 hours of usage out of this thing. That's not going to get you through the whole night, but that is the worst case scenario. That is with the heater, the humidifier turned up all the way and the heated tube turned on. Now, if you start to dial those things back a little bit, you're going to get more use or extended use out of this battery. If you turn both of those things off, if you turn your humidifier off and the heated tubing off, this will run your CPAP for 24 hours. Now, if you sleep 8 hours a night, and God bless you if you do. I remember when I was young and I slept 8 hours, 10 hours. Those were good days. It's not me anymore, but I do miss those days. But at 8 hours a night, that's going to give you 3 days on the road. Plus, you're going to be charging this thing every night, right? Like, 3 nights, that would be if you're in the middle of the Mojave Desert and there's no solar and you don't have anything. You can still get 3 nights. I sleep about 6 hours a night. That's 4 nights for me. So, it's all about compromises. If you are willing to turn the heat down just a little bit on your CPAP, turn the humidifier down from mine's on the highest setting. So if you turn it down a little bit from the highest setting or whatever, then you're going to get 6-7 hours a night, and this thing will get you through the night. Now, one other use case that I haven't talked about, and something that, to be honest with you, I'll probably be using even more than I use it when I am out camping, and that is for using in my house. Now, I live in an area in Oklahoma that is, we get a lot of storms. We get tornadoes, we get thunderstorms, and the power is always going off here. Not for long periods of time, but it flickers. And if you use a CPAP, you know what a pain in the butt that is when your power goes out in the middle of the night and you wake up because the CPAP is turned off and it's not pumping that air in that your body was used to just a second ago. Okay, this thing will basically work like a UPS. So you would hook your CPAP up to this. You are using your CPAP from this thing's battery, and if you've got this plugged into the wall, it's constantly charging. So that power goes out for a minute, you're not going to notice it because you're getting your CPAP power from this thing. So you could take this in the house again. With this little handle, it's not, you could carry this thing around anywhere, right? So it wouldn't be an issue at all to use it in the house, and then when it's time to go camping, you take it out there with you. So let's hook this up real quick to the CPAP just so you can see how it works, how it functions and everything, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so we've got the unit here. I've got it set to 24 volts, which is what I need. Again, this adapter is the one for my CPAP, so you want to make sure that you've got, I mean, you won't get it wrong, it's just it wouldn't fit. Now I've got it upside down from before, so again, these are going to be your inputs with it this way, and these are your outputs. So we'll just take that off. Plug the adapter in there. And then as you can see, this is the ResMed adapter. Just like a USB port, you're guaranteed. It only goes one way, and like a USB plug, you're guaranteed. You got a 50-50 shot, except for it's always wrong. We'll plug our hose in here, and then we'll just turn this around and hold this down just for a minute to get the power up. Now, we've got it set for 12 volts right here, and if we do a couple of quick taps, you can see I've changed it to 24 volts. And there we go. Now that that's 24 volts, you can see that my CPAP has fired right up. Now, on my CPAP, if you go in here into options, you could go down here, you could scroll through, and you could set like my heating tube, you could see is heated, and it's set to auto, and my humidifier is set to auto. But you can set those features, so like I said, if you turn those down, you're going to be able to squeeze a little bit more performance out of these things. With those settings all the way up to the highest, you're going to get, again, about 5 hours of usage out of this battery. But if you turn those down just a little bit and get 6.5 hours out of this, then that is a night's sleep for me. So what is the final verdict on this battery from EASYLONGER? Again, first of all, got to work on the company name. It's hard to say EASYLONGER and tell people that you're talking about a CPAP battery, but that's what it is. I mean, first of all, I absolutely love it. I love the idea of it. This thing looks and feels rugged. It feels like you could drop it. If you drop this on your foot, the problem will not be with the battery. The problem will be with your foot. This thing is heavy and solid. It's obviously meant for camping. You've got all those little plugs that cover all the inputs and outputs, so you're not going to have any problems when you're out camping. If you got this thing out in a tent, you got it in a camper van, something, an RV, you know, this thing is rugged. It's definitely meant to be hauled around, lugged around, dropped, whatever. So build quality, definite thumbs up. The case that it comes in is going to give you a little bit of extra protection. I don't know how usable it is when it's totally in this, because you know, you've got your buttons on the front here that you can't really access if it's in this. Now you can, I didn't show this before, but on this side, that's not the container, this opens up almost like a mailbox, right? And so this is the side that the flashlight would go on. So you could open that up, and again, you've got this side, which I think is really convenient because, man, I know me, without the adapter, then you're going to be in trouble, right? So put the adapter in here, and the minute that you take this thing out, I would put the adapter back in there. So the case is handy, and the case is a good place to store the stuff. The case will not hold the battery charger thing, right? So, or the wall charger. So it won't keep everything. I would probably, if it were me, I would just keep the box and keep all those other adapters and stuff in there, because, you know, that way, like I said, if you get another CPAP, you have those other adapters on there, you know, ready to go. So that's just me. So let's talk about the performance. If you are a insufferable person like me and you're unwilling to compromise, you want to have the heat, you know, you want to have your humidifier all the way to 10. You want to have your heating tube all the way up to 10. Then you're going to get about 5 hours of performance out of this. I used this last night while I was camping. I had everything cranked up as high as it would go, like the worst possible case scenario. I went to bed about 11:30, and I woke up a little bit after 3 in the morning. So 3.5. Oh, and it wasn't charged up all the way. It was charged up between 50 and 75%, which is how it came when I got it. So I wasn't at 100%. I got 3.5 hours. So yeah, I would estimate 4.5, pushing 5 hours of performance with everything cranked up to 10. If you're willing, and I'm not saying you have to turn that stuff all the way off, but if you're willing to turn it down just a little bit, if you'll turn your humidifier from 10 down to 8, if you'll turn the heated tube down just a little bit, then you're going to be able to get 6 to 7 hours of performance out of this, and that'll get you through the night. When you're camping, I mean, maybe people sleep 12 hours when they're camping. I don't. I stay up late and I get up early, you know, so that would get you through the night. If you're one of those people that don't need the humidifier, don't have the heated tube, then this thing, like I said, is estimated, and I believe it will do 24 hours. That is multiple nights of being out. And again, that's without recharging. If you're in a place where, like I have solar on this fan, I can recharge this thing every night. So, but if you're in a situation where you can't recharge, that's still going to get you 3 to 4 nights of usage out of this thing. In addition to that, if you're going to go camping and you're going to go for maybe 1 night or 2 nights, something like that, this might be the only thing you need because, man, you got your 12 volts here, you got your USB stuff here, so you can charge other things with this. Now, the thing about this, and what I like so much about it, is for me, this becomes a dedicated battery for my CPAP. Now, I have a big all-powers battery for my van, right? But I'm always watching the level because as I go throughout the day, the refrigerator is going to take a little bit. The TV is going to take a little bit. If I decide to run the microwave, that's going to take a little bit. And when I'm watching, my goal is not at the end of the night to get down to 0. I've got to watch it and get down to 33%, 30%, because I've got to have enough to run my CPAP all night long, right? Like that, I have to have that buffer. So this can become that buffer for me, right? So I don't have to worry about running that battery out because I've always got this thing to run me through the night. So thumbs up for me. Like I said, with just a slight bit of configuration on your CPAP, if you're willing to turn those things down, this is going to get you all the way through the night. This is going to be a good backup for you in your house, almost like a UPS for your CPAP. So for that stuff, I give it a thumbs up. So I will put a link down in the description. It's one of those Amazon links. If you are interested in this, you can pick this up, use that link, and I'll get, like 50 cents or something like that. Every little bit helps when you're driving and camping in a van. So, hey, thanks for watching this, you guys, and check the channel because either right before this video or right after this one, you're going to get to see my camping adventure where I used this overnight. Thank you guys for checking out BigRobsVan. I'll talk to you soon.